Hey, here we are live again with the Joypreneur Summit. I am so happy that you are here. Are you enjoying day 2? Oh my gosh, we're having such a good day already and we're just getting started. I can't wait to move on today. Right now, this second, we are going to be talking to Michele Thill. But before we do, I want to remind you that if you're wondering who's on and when and what time are people coming on, do look at the link in the description. If you look at the link in the description, it's going to give you somewhere where you can go and get the full agenda, not only for now and today, but the next 2 days that we have the summit. And so you will always be able to mark and put down which days are best for you. My suggestion, of course, is to keep it on in the background all day long. Anybody see this morning's interview with Vicki? I know you loved it. Do give a shout out in the comments if you were there and let Vicki know how much she rocked it. And I know you're going to love Michele as much. We have got such clever, cool people in the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. I'm just always so blown away by the things they're doing in the world, the way they think, how they're living their lives. I know if you're like me, you would love to hang out with them because you become who you are surrounded by. And so I'm going to give you an extra incentive right now. If you join the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club right now, this is very limited time. This is just during the summit. I will send you this expectation pen in the mail, and we do ship internationally. This is the pen of expectation. Whatever you write with it will come true. I know you're going to want that. And so do look for the link in the description and make sure and sign up for the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club right now so that you can get that pen and you can hang out with all of these amazing, awesome people. If you're here live right now and you're ready to go, hey, I know you were there. That's awesome, Julie. Thank you for these good comments. I love seeing these comments roll in about how good the interviews have been so far. I know that our guests have really been bringing it. And I know you're going to love to hear from Michele Thill. I want to remind you that when you do look at the link in the description and you grab the agenda, you also get Michele's freebie, which you'll hear more about later, and all of the freebies from all of the speakers on the summit and the sponsors. I mean, I don't even know how many freebies we're up to now, but it's at least 40. It's more than that, I think, like 45. So definitely check that link out. Michele Thill is a purpose and vision coach, and she is someone who helps women who are over 50, especially women who are going through some kind of transition, and often a transition that they didn't ask for on their own. So imagine that you have an unexpected divorce and now you're trying to reinvent your life, reinvent yourself. Well, that's what she will help you with. She has mindset exercises, wellness practices. She helps you to totally embrace change and look at your new life as a vibrant, fun adventure. You know, you get to start over and be who you want to be. And how nice to have somebody on the journey with you like Michele. And so without further ado, I know you're going to love hearing from her. Hold on, we'll get her right here on the stage. Say hello to Michele Thill. The crowd goes wild. All right. Hi,
Good
Michele.
morning, Dana. Good morning, everyone.
Don't you think everybody should get to start their day with hearing my voice going, the crowd goes wild about, I wish that would be my life. Like you could just get up and you go get a snack to eat and somebody's going like, yeah, take a bow.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Yes.
We need to invent a button that does that. That's the way to do it. Michele, you know what, where I would like to start with you in this interview, if you don't feel like we're prying too much, I'd love to hear more about your personal story because I think it's so powerful. And I know we've got people listening who have been through either this exact thing or things that are similar. So would you mind sharing with us what happened?
Oh, absolutely. So, Dana, I was with my ex for 29 years. I thought we would always be together. And one day he decided to leave. He left me for someone else. And I was dumbstruck. I was scared to death. I had never lived on my own. I never had to support myself. And I was a stay-at-home mom. our kids were growing up, and I probably stayed home a little too long, but I was enjoying family life. I always wanted to be a mother and a homemaker, and had just re-entered the workforce maybe about 2 years before this. And
Wow.
all of a sudden, I'm left to try to figure out how to navigate life on my own and support and take care of myself when I had never done that before.
Wow, that had to be like, it had to be scary and
Yeah.
shocking, and plus you're going through the upset about, not only having to split up, but the situation under which it happened. And
Yeah.
so, how did you just keep yourself from just not curling up into the fetal position and just crying and feeling bad for a year? What
Ex-
did you do?
that's exactly it. I thought I can't let myself curl up in that ball. I felt the emotions, of course, but I couldn't stay stuck there because I had to now figure out how to hit the ground, go off and running. How was I going to support myself? How was I going to move forward? I knew we were going to have to sell the family home, and I'd have to find a new place. And my ex really did so much of the big decisions that now were left to me.
Mhm.
So I started on a journey of realizing that um, I was going to find peace from broken pieces,
Yeah.
that I would let what was happening not break me, but break me open. And that life was, I adopted an attitude of life was happening for me and not to me. And then I took actions based on that.
I love this so much. It's like, preach, woman. That's just like, it's just, we all want to go, amen. It's so good. And so what did you do? Like, what was the first step? Because I know one of the things that you help your clients with now who are going through similar things where they're really, their whole lives are turned upside down, is you help them reinvent yourself. And
Yeah.
reinvent is such a beautiful word and I love it. But sometimes I think people can go, well, what does that mean exactly? Like, how did you start? Where did you start? And how do you help your clients start with that process? What's the first starting point for starting that journey?
Oh, for me, I didn't have the funds for therapy. So I turned to self-education, and I started reaching out, if you will, through whatever sources I could, books, whatever was available, to get that inspiration. And I started holistic self-care, which is more than bubble baths and getting your nails done, which is absolutely awesome. But it's a body, mind, spirit approach where you're looking at the physical, your nutrition, your movement. I became very self aware about that, calming the mind through meditation and relaxation, and the spirit and spiritual aspect of getting creative, tapping into things I enjoyed when I was younger, also self reflection. And I started working into easing myself and finding my way forward because I was calming the anxiety,
Yeah, yeah.
and was then now starting to create a life that I now wanted to live. The life I knew ended, right? But that wasn't the end. It was the beginning of now opening up this other door. And it was a lot of mindset shifts. So it was
Yeah.
holistic self-care, set shifts, and simple daily practices, habits and routines that I started adopting
Mhm.
to help me now reinvent and rediscover myself.
Yeah, I want to definitely get into some habits and routines, but I want to start with, when you say mindset shifts, what do you think was the biggest thing you were butting up against as you were taking this journey? Like, what thing in your mind had to shift in order for you to step out of that old version of you and step into the new version of you? What do you think flipped that switch for you?
How long did you say we had together?
Next time we do a summit, it'll be all you, 24
my gosh.
episodes.
My gosh. You know, I grew up with a lot of anxiety and the glass half empty. So I really had to get a handle on my thoughts. And one of the mentors I was following at the time, Dee Wallace, the mom from ET, who's also a healer, I was following her, and she was talking a lot about creating your own reality, which seemed empowering and intimidating. And one day she said, you know, I want to quote a woman that I love, Dana Wilde, and share that your story isn't your problem. Your problem is you keep telling your story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my gosh, who is Dana Wilde? I have to look her up.
Oh, that's crazy. I love it.
Right?
Yeah,
and it made me realize that life is happening. Yeah. Life is going to happen for us. Stressors are going to be there. It's the meaning we give to what's happening. Yeah. And I started retelling my story.
Yeah, well, I love the meaning, and I love me some Dee Wallace too. That's a mutual love affair. So I couldn't agree more. You were learning from somebody fantastic. And to reiterate what you said that you heard through Dee, the idea is not that we have a problem or we have a situation in our lives that's getting us down. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is that we keep thinking and talking about it. So it sounds to me like you started getting hyper aware that if you were creating your reality, which we all are, right? Yeah. Because we create our, people say, oh, you create your reality through your thoughts, but we do. The things we think give us the brain that makes the decisions, give us the choices that we make. And so when you're making that decision of like, okay, this is it. This is my life. I'm giving my life meaning. I'm creating my own future. I'm creating my reality. Like, that sounds so empowering, Michele. Did you feel like you kind of went right from the depths of the fetal position into suddenly the whole world was your oyster? Like, can you speak to your clients who have that transformation too and start to feel like, I could actually do this. This isn't as hard as it sounds. This is something that is real. I'm choosing my thoughts. I'm choosing my reality,
Yes. And absolutely in baby steps. Yeah. One step at a time. Boy, I'd love to just say, all of a sudden I had this aha download and everything changed. But it really is a daily practice and a process, one step at a time. Mm-hmm. And if I can do it, anyone can. I'm intentionally sitting in my kitchen right now, as you can all see, because I went from a homemaker to an entrepreneur. That's crazy. And taking the small steps, following the breadcrumbs, is the journey I feel like we're on at this second half of life. The first half of life is kind of figured out for us, right? It's get the education, get married, get the kids, get the career. If that's your area you're going in, get the achievements. And this half of life, the second half, is not all mapped out for us. It's not all figured out. It's for us to figure out step by step, day by day, on what lights us up, what brings us joy. We've worked so much the first half of our life. Now, instead of all the doing, it's time to be more and take all that wisdom and experience into this next chapter.
I really love this idea of taking small steps. I think people, when they hear that or they try to do that themselves, I wonder if there's this idea of, yeah, but it's not enough, or yeah, but I want the big leap, or I'm wondering how important, maybe in order to take that path, you almost have to celebrate the small wins or something. Like, how do you feel about this? How do you get somebody who is just starting this and who wants the big transformation to just buy into this idea that small steps will get you there? Because I believe that too. You're right. Small
Yeah.
steps will get you there. And so let's speak to it just a little bit more. What would you say to that person who's like, that's not enough for me, or I need to do more than that?
And that's where I think one of the steps is, it's a small step, but it has a huge impact, is shifting the mindset, is being clear, listening to what your mind is saying. Especially women, we have so many negative thoughts that want to keep us
Sure,
small.
but she comes back. Hang on, we lost you for a second. Say it
Oh,
again.
sorry.
Listening to what the mind is saying.
Right. We have all the negative thoughts, especially as women and women midlife, that are looking to keep us small. The I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do this. I had all those thoughts, and I had to start challenging myself, my thoughts. Is that true? Is that really true? Can I figure it out? Instead of I can't figure it out, I started reframing and training my brain to I can find a way to figure it out.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. And you're so inspiring, Michele. Like, I know we're hearing people in the comments here. Thank you. Keep bringing these up. Happening for me, not to me. What an important mindset shift. Preach, sister. Make your message. This is so, make your mess your message. This is great. I
yes,
love all of this stuff. And I love, because you lived it. Like, you
yeah,
really, I know some background of your story that you really came from a place of, like, you didn't know how to do anything because your husband had been doing a lot of stuff, and now here you are, you're an
yeah,
entrepreneur helping other women, you're living this inspirational life. Like, you are the best billboard for what
yeah.
you're teaching to people. And so I want to ask you a little bit about daily practices, like stress management made simple.
Yeah.
Like, what are the strategies you're doing to just stay calm on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, and you know what? They're free and they're with us all the time. One is deep breathing. We breathe from our shoulders up mostly, and especially when we're under pressure, we may even hold our breath, or out of fear, hold our breath. And I really started the practice of deep breathing from the belly on up. How
Yes.
important it is to slow and have mindful breathing, because what it does is I'm also a board certified health and wellness coach and certified as a functional medicine health coach. So I take all of my training with that as well. Deep breathing sounds like nothing, but it's everything, because it relaxes the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in our body. It's the fight or flight nerve. And when we do something as simple as deep belly breathing, we start relaxing ourselves and calming our system.
Yeah, everybody do it with me right now.
Yeah.
And after you've done it, okay, big deep breath. And then put in the comments, I did it! Exclamation point. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this is such a ridiculously simple thing that you can do that will change your life. This is so, like, truth with a capital T, all caps. Michele, thank you so much for bringing us back to that, because
Yeah.
it is with us all the time, and it
Yes.
is free. We can do it anytime to have daily calm. Do you have anything else that you would say, like, if you want to be more calm?
Absolutely. I really practice gratitude. And it's easy to practice gratitude when everything's going our way. I've really trained myself to practice the gratitude when you're in the storm, to find that silver lining, to look at, when my life blew up, I started to realize, okay, there's gifts in this. I am grateful for the time I had with my ex, and now I'm going to find ways to be grateful to be on my own, to learn that I'm stronger than I realize, I'm wiser. And I say I, but I mean we, because it's not just me. And practicing gratitude, again, it raises your energy, your frequency, and it helps you not just stay stuck with where you are, what is. It helps you see what could be. And
Mm.
if you take the action, what will be. And by practicing breathing and gratitude, I started doing it on a daily basis all the time. I would be mindful of doing it so that when something happened, my body just started all of a sudden deep breathing and I was relaxing. It was becoming like second nature. You really can retrain your brain to do that. So those are two powerful free practices.
And you're right. If you keep doing them, they do become like muscle memory. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like how the basketball player will shoot a basket
Yeah.
and it becomes muscle memory. And like I like the example of when we're learning to stand with good posture.
Yeah.
At first, we have to think about it and think about it as a lifelong sloucher. I can testify to this. I have to think about it and think about it and think about it. And then pretty soon it becomes second nature. And these two things, like imagine a life where if you could default to gratitude, like this is the power of what Michelle's saying here, being able to have that be your automatic pilot, your default, have it be your automatic pilot, your default to move into that deep breathing and move into that calm. Like this is very exciting stuff. I love this, Michele. Do you want to speak at all about community and the power of who you surround yourself with?
Oh, and that, especially for us women, and again, my focus is on women that have been through divorce. That said, it could be a loss of a partner. It could be an empty nester. It could be someone with a career pivot where you all of a sudden are surrounded by awesome people who know you for who you've been and who you are now. But when you find a community of like-minded people, they're the ones that start to help you hold space to the possibilities of what is next and help support you. You know, we've taken care of everyone else during our lives, and now it's time to take care of ourselves. Some people that are also on that journey, women learning to take care of themselves as well, where you're walking a similar path with them and figuring out those next steps as you go.
I love that. Yes. Can we get a preach in the comments, please? Because this is like it's so good and so juicy. Ooh, I just love it. Do you have any parting shot or like one mindset tip or one thing that you would say to people before we leave, Michele? Because you've given us so much good stuff. And like if this is the only part of the interview people are going to hear, what would you tell someone? What would be your message to someone who's on this path right now?
I would say to adopt the mindset and even the mantra of I choose to see this or I choose to see things differently. That has been a game changer for me as well, because we're looking at things one way and we have a choice that's so powerful on how we're going to look at it. Are we going to look at ourselves like we're victims, or are we going to look at ourselves as we're victors on this journey? And that is possible.
Yes, so good. So good. I love that word choose. Write that
Yeah.
down. Golden nugget. So good. I love it. Thank you so much, Michele. It's been so awesome having you here. I appreciate so much the time you spent with us.
Oh, and I appreciate you. And, may I just say how much, guys, if somebody told me, especially on those dark days in the beginning where I was just walking around with crying, that I'd be sitting next to the Dana Wilde. Oh
I'm
my
gonna blush now.
gosh. Honestly, I think about the importance and if I may share about the PME club, some of the people that have been on have been in the club for a long time, and I'm newer to the club. It's been about a year now that I've been in the club, and I have to say, Dana really is an amazing support system. And for all of us that are on this summit with our experience and being at the experts that we are, you can turn to all of us knowing that we're not alone, that we have someone we're turning to that has the experience. You want a coach who also has a coach on this journey. And Dana and the community she has created, I wish I would have found you and everyone so much sooner. It would have been a lot easier for me, let me tell you.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. I'm feeling like, I hope I'm not blushing too much. And I'm just humbled. I appreciate you so much. And I'm sure you can see, like, how awesome is Michele? Let's give her a hands up and look at all the great comments coming in through the thread. It's amazing. And how awesome is it to hear from these people? She's not kidding about the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, because guess what? There are people like her. Think about the speaker after speaker that we hear from here who are just amazing, sharing their stories, their journeys. We got to hear from Michele about where she started and where she moved to and who she's become in the process, and in such an inspiring way, doing it through small steps, doing it through these easy practices like deep breathing and gratitude, and things that you can actually do often enough that they become a part of you. They actually become part of your makeup. They become your default. It's so inspiring. I've enjoyed it so much. And I want to remind you that Michele has an incredible freebie for you. So do look at the link in the comments, because the link in the comments, in the description, rather, not the comments, will give you the link to get her ultimate checklist for moving forward with your life after a major transition. And remember, this can even be when you're just having one of those challenging days. And you can see from what she shared here, she has got easy to implement small shifts that are actually doable. And it includes a way to uncover your sense of purpose so that you start to live your life on fire. So grab her freebie. And remember, when you're grabbing her freebie, you're also getting the freebies from all of the other speakers. You can pick and choose, including the people who sponsor. Today, we've got a sponsor, Katrina Peeler. She's got a 3-minute body distressor and re-energizer that you can use. There's so many good things to choose from all the different freebies. You'll find the one just for you. And of course, I want to remind you that lovely unsolicited testimonial from Michele about the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, that when you join now, you get the pen of expectation in the mail. And this does ship internationally. Anything you write with it will come true. That is the power of intention. Michele gave a great mantra, and I want to give 2 more of her favorites. 2 of her other favorites are everything always works out for me, and I am safe. That I am safe one, it's just so juicy, isn't it? Can't you just feel the power of it? Both of them are amazing. And the one she gave us during the show. I loved hearing from Michele. I know you did too. Next up, we have Audrey Weidman. She is the heartfelt alchemist. Sorry, the heartfelt alchemist. Now, listen, I want to tell you something about Audrey. So pay attention, because this is important. Audrey, in addition to some of the topics that we have been advertising that she can help you with, like finding your ideal client and things like that, she has actually survived 2 heart attacks. And she has learned a thing or two about how to go back down a path of de-stressing, living a different life. And the advice that she's got about not only surviving and recovering from a heart attack, but living a good life, is stuff that you will not hear in other places. So many of the people who are experts in that area are regurgitating the same old stuff, and she has a whole different perspective. So if you know somebody who has survived a heart attack whether it's a man or a woman, you get them here at the top of the hour. We start at the top of the hour with Audrey, and you're going to love what she's got to tell you. So stay tuned for that. I will be back in 30 minutes. The Joypreneur Summit is rocking, and it's rocking because of you. You are here. You are supporting it. We're learning all this good stuff, and we're having some fun. I will see you in 30 minutes, everybody.